Happy new moon! Just as Virgo season kicks off, this is the perfect time to have a conversation about holistic self-care. So make sure you stick around all the way to the end because I'm going to give you 5 steps to create your own holistic self-care plan that supports your happiness and health. Hello and welcome to Holistic Beauty TV. I'm Dominique D. Wilson, the founder of Holistic Yoni Care. And today, as I said, we're going to be talking about holistic self-care. It is the Virgo new moon, a time for new beginnings in terms of our health, our daily routines, and how we structure our lifestyle. And so this, as the summer comes to an end and we're moving into fall season, right? And moving into cold and flu and allergy season, this is a perfect time to take a moment and focus on health. So today I'm going to walk you through 5 phases of the holistic self-care planning process. And that way you can start making changes that bring about greater happiness, fulfillment, and health for yourself. Now, we hear about self-care all the time. It's a very popular term that's thrown around, but I want to talk about holistic self-care, which is more than just a routine. It is a lifestyle characterized by practical steps towards the preservation of your happiness and health, your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. This includes maintenance of your health from day to day, right? As well as taking preventative measures so that we can be ready for any challenges that might pop up along our journey. That brings the question, who needs a holistic self-care plan? Well, in my opinion, everybody, every woman needs to have a holistic self-care plan, regardless of her health status, because you want to make sure that the behaviors, the decisions you make, the people you surround yourself with, your environment, everything that you do is in support of your health and happiness. Because if you're not showing up whole and complete and just feeling the power of love to every single interaction, then what's the point, right? So health is really at the foundation of everything. And so regardless of, as I said, you want to maintain things throughout the day or prevent healthcare issues that may arise in the future. Maybe there's some things going on in your family history that you want to look out for. Regardless of all that, having a holistic self-care plan and keeping it very simple is going to take you very far. So before I hop into these 5 phases, if you can take a second, make sure that you click that thumbs up button. Like this video. This allows more people to actually see the video. YouTube rewards the thumbs up. Also, if you're not already subscribed, click that subscribe button so that you can be the first to be notified whenever I upload a new video, and also hit the notifications bell so that you'll get a little alert. So now let's dive into the 5 phases of holistic self-care planning. And for that, I'm going to use an acronym. SIREN, S-I-R-E-N. S is for self-assessment, I is for intention, R is for resilience, E is for embodiment, and N is for networking. So now let's go through each one of those so that we can get a sense of how to put this plan together for ourselves. So the S, as I said, is for self-assessment. This is the first step in any new process that you're starting. When it comes to health, you want to identify where you are right now. What are your current health concerns? What's going on? How do you feel in your body? How do you feel about the skin that you're in? What's going on in your yoni? How are you feeling emotionally? Are you feeling spiritually connected and socially connected? How is work going? How are your relationships? This is just an overall phase of self-assessment, checking in with yourself, because we really want to bring awareness. Before you start making plans about all the things that you want to do and all the changes you want to make, it's so important to be very clear on where you are, right? Because any plans that you make for your health, any goals that you set, those things are only going to be possible for you and attainable if you're able to measure the distance between where you are now and where it is that you want to be. And so you want to meet yourself in the space right now so that your path moving forward is characterized by integrity. So you're going to identify your main health concern. If you can keep that to 1 to 2 so that you don't overwhelm yourself, think of what's most pressing to you and really take some time with this one. You might want to do some journaling. You also want to look at contributing behaviors. What is contributing to where I am right now? Who in my life might be contributing to, energetically to how I'm feeling, where I am. And you want to look at behavior patterns, any habits that you may have, and also identify how some of the other areas of your life might be affected. So for instance, if your number one health concern at this time is, let's say, your weight, right? You want to look at your behavior. How are the things that you're eating or the level of movement you have? The people that you're spending time around, how do they eat? How might that be influencing you? And how is your concern about your weight affecting the way that you show up at work or in social settings, or affecting the way that you express your creative voice? So we really want to just gain awareness. And it's very important during the self-assessment phase that we leave judgment off the table. This is not about right, wrong, woulda, shoulda, coulda, none of that. We really want to bring the light of awareness and shine a light on what's going on, because this is going to give us everything we need to know to plan going forward, right? So that's S, self-assessment. Phase 2 is I. I is for intention. I'm a huge fan of setting intentions before you even think about goals. Intention is really the energy that is fueling this inner core desire, the desire that comes from your inner Yoni space, that creative feminine energy that's within all of us. We have a desire, something we want, and intention is the expression of that desire. And so therefore, if you just off the gate start setting goals, where's the energy? Where's the intention? What's going to power you through those goals? A lot of times goals can become unattainable. They feel boring, or, we'll set a goal and it's something that we don't even want, because the want, that fiery, passionate desire, that's the power of intention. That's what's missing. So when we talk about intention, it's not so much about doing, it's how do you want to feel? What is the energy that you're showing up in, that is moving through you as you move through your goals and all these things that you're doing? Who do you want to be in the process of becoming? That is intention. It's more about feeling and the energy that you bring to the table, and so that you're able to flow with that energy, because as you shift, as you evolve, as you grow, the goals you set will change. So think of the energy, or think of the intention like gasoline, right? And think of goals like vehicles, right? The intention is what fuels and moves the vehicle. The vehicle is what's going to transport you from point A to B. And the vehicle, those are goals. So those are the concrete steps that you're going to take so that your intention can move you from one place to the next. And so this is really tapping into that energy of desire. And this is where you are turning on. And this is how you get that creative energy to move out of you and start manifesting in the outer world. So that's the second phase of the holistic self-care planning process of intention. The third phase is R, resilience. Anytime you start on a new path, okay, I'm sure you can relate to this, stuff is going to start popping up out of the woodworks. Old people you haven't talked to in a while are going to start calling you. Old habits that you could have sworn you let go will start popping up. If it comes to, let's say, going back to this example of maybe getting better at managing your weight, or getting to that ideal weight, right, that you feel is healthiest for you, all those old cravings are going to come back up. So resilience is about how can we buffer ourselves against the things that will come up, because stuff will come up. And this is not catastrophizing. It's not self-doubt. It's being realistic, right? As long as we are honest with ourselves about the challenges and the obstacles that will present themselves, we can actually meet them in the moment with the power of our intention and figure out a way through it, around it, over it, but we continue moving forward. So this is where you want to identify obstacles that are currently in your way. If you want to start eating healthier, and everybody in your household and friend circle eats food that you deem unhealthy, maybe fast food, a lot of fried things, and you know that you're going to be surrounded by food that's going to pull you in, back to where you're trying to leave from. Maybe you're trying to eat more fruits and vegetables. then what are some things you can do so that when that temptation comes, right, because it will come, it won't yank you off of your path. So these are the types of obstacles we want to look at. And there are obstacles that are not there yet. They're going to come up later. And so we want to kind of be thinking about those. I wouldn't say spend too much time in this phase, because you could go on and on and on about the what ifs and what if this and what if that. You don't want to go too far, but you want to look at the obvious things. Obviously, if you're surrounded by people that are eating in a way that is keeping you stuck, in a weight that you don't want, then it's not so much about getting rid of those people. It's not their behavior is wrong. It's just that you may need to team up with a buddy, right? Somebody else that's eating healthy so that you can, bounce your energy off of one another, or hang out with a group of people that eat healthy. Something like that, where you are balancing that energy that the obstacle is going to bring. And this is really going to strengthen your willpower. And it's also going to help you in those moments where things get tough. All right. And so that's our resilience. The fourth phase in the holistic self-care planning is E, which is embodiment. This is where now we're out of the headsy planning part. This is where we're actually going to start taking inspired action, because we can talk and think and plan all day about all the great things that we're going to do. But this is where we literally start becoming the person who you see in your vision of your best self. So if you want to be at your ideal weight, think about, if you were at your ideal weight, how would you conduct yourself from the start of the day to the finish of the day, right? When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you would do? What's the first meal you would have if you were the person who is at her ideal weight? What would you have for breakfast? What would you have for lunch, dinner? What kind of people would you hang around? How would you dress, right? Would you have more confidence and walk around in cute tops and blouses and whatever? Start doing that now. Why wait? Who says you have to wait until you become this idealized version of yourself to start doing the things that really embody that energy? Embodiment is about literally becoming. So this is the transformative process of you are using your behaviors, the way you carry yourself, your actions, your words, and your thoughts to physically manifest this change that you want to your health. So whatever that change might be, it's not so much just eating healthy and exercising and that's it. Those are certainly things that you can do when you're looking at your goals, but I'm talking about the whole package. Remember, this is holistic self-care. So we want to talk about your spiritual sense of connection, your social life, your emotional life, physical, your lifestyle. How do you dress? How do you carry yourself? How would you talk? What types of thoughts would you have about yourself? What types of behaviors and activities would you engage in if you were at your ideal weight? So start thinking about how you can start embodying not just the goals, but the entire lifestyle of your best self. And this is really the key to manifest anything, right? Anytime you want to bring something new into your life. So go ahead and own your power and embody that change now. That's the fourth phase. And finally, the fifth phase of the holistic self-care planning process is in networking. Networking is about connection. This is not something where you want to do it alone, right? You want to make sure, and we're not alone, right? Every last one of us lives in community with people one way or another. And so it's important to develop your holistic support system and think about how that might look for you. And many women lack a holistic support system. We have a few key people, there's some family members here, friend there, but a lot of that might get projected onto a spouse or a significant other, our partner who we're in an intimate relationship with, right? And that person ends up wearing so many hats to where it burns out the relationship. And so what we really need is to make sure that we are holistically covered. We need a support system that gives us moral support, social support, informational support, as well as motivational support. And so working through those 4 different dimensions of support, and seeing how you can start calling in people and building that network of people is really going to help you. And a part of the social support, I want to say very important for us ladies, is sisterhood. Being able to connect with other women is truly, it's so healing on so many levels, so healing. And it doesn't matter where you are in life, what your experiences have been. Every woman benefits from sisterhood. And so identifying a community of women who are on a similar path is another part of that social support that's really going to be beneficial to you, even if it's just crafting. You know, you guys get together and knit or crochet or bake or whatever. It doesn't have to be some deeply spiritual thing. Just being in the presence of other women, it does something. It's a form of medicine, organically in and of itself. It does what it needs to do. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about that sense of connection, right? Networking, which is the N in Siren. So that covers the 5 phases of the holistic self-care process. Again, bringing in that awareness with self-assessment, making sure you start with intention, not goals. Also making sure that you buffer yourself against challenges, be resilient, boost up that resilience by identifying obstacles and ways that you're going to overcome them. Embodying the change that you want to experience right now and not waiting. And finally, networking, getting connected to a community of supportive people and making sure that your support system is truly holistic. So you're not putting all of the needs for your support onto 1, 2, or 3 people. So those are the 5 phases of the 5 phases, of the holistic self-care planning process. I have written a very, very detailed blog post about this on my website at holisticyoniCare.com/blog. So make sure you go over to the website, read through that so that you can walk yourself through this process. And of course, if you would like some assistance, you can book a wellness consultation with me at holisticyoniCare.com. In the consultation, we are going to use the Siren process, but of course, I'm going to bring my own knowledge of herbs, of nutrition, and things like that to really help you build a more robust plan for if you have a specific wellness challenge, something, maybe you're trying to work on skincare or work on Yoni care, or you need to detox yourself because you're having other health issues. We can go deep and work on that. And so I have some really cool stuff on the website. Make sure you go to holisticyoniCare.com if you feel that would be a benefit to you. And one last thing before you go, in the comments below, let me know, what is your number 1 wellness goal right now as it stands? I would love to hear from you. And of course, I do respond to every comment. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I hope that you take advantage of this beautiful Virgo energy. There's a lot of positive energy in the universe right now. We have been through a rough couple of years, and you know what? There's always hope. There's always a balance of light and dark, right? And so this is one of those times where if there's some things you want to do to get your health on track, then this is a time to do that for yourself. And again, I am here for you if you have any questions or need any support with that. Make sure you reach out to me. Thanks again for tuning into this video. And remember, you get to choose how you show up in life. Love yourself fiercely, own your story, and say yes to you. Namaste.